Peace, diehards. It's your boy Ewu, the Any Star host of the DiehardKnicks podcast. I am doing a live fantasy basketball league, man. So this is like a primer for it. On Thursday, I'm actually going to do a live draft, and I have the guys that they're in the league. I'm gonna have like a little get together, and we'll chop it up a little bit to get everybody excited, and then once the draft starts, we'll actually start the whole thing right there live for everyone to see. So if you're interested in fantasy basketball, Thursday, 7:30 on YouTube and Sportscaster. You can find DiehardKnicks podcast and whoever else is in the league. We'll get into that, and guys can have some fun, man. You can maybe see what guys are picking, who's going first, and just if you're not familiar with, if your draft is maybe next week or whatever, you can see the live draft and just see how it goes and whatever. It's fun, So hopefully we can get into that, man. So yeah, without further ado, let's just do this right. This is DiehardKnicks podcast. Even to any star, that's me doing a fantasy primer type of podcast today, man. So let's do it. Yeah, guys, man, we're doing a fantasy Yahoo Fantasy Primer. So just get into it, man. I'm gonna share my actual Yahoo screen here, and these are all the different people that are here. This is me here. We got Christian. Christian, he's from YouTube. We got Maroon Sounds. He's a DJ. You can find him on Instagram as well. I'm sorry, Christian is on Instagram. You can find Maroon Sound on Instagram. You can follow him. Andre DeLille, that's actually he's from the Diehard Knicks podcast. He also has his own music and other things that he does, so you can check him out. Mike and all these different guys, man. I told these guys to come in and change their their logos and stuff, so that way everybody knows who they are. But we got Hoops is My Religion. These guys, they're pretty good, man. But the guy has he's been going to school and stuff, so he hasn't really been able to post. So that's Hoops is My Religion. We got Payback Carter. Payback Carter is one. He's like all over the place, man. I always see him on all my posts. He's one of my best supporters, man. So he's here rocking out. John's official. I don't know who John is. So like I said, guys got to get in here and change their logos and stuff. See, that's what makes it fun, man. So I mean, I'll click stuff so you guys can see, but you can put your own picture, your logo, change the team name to make it whatever you want, and that just makes everything fun. Of course, you want people to know who you are, but on the flip side too, you just want to like have fun with the names and stuff. Like the Monstars, people used to do that too. Back in the days when the whole what is that? I forgot the Toon movie, whatever. People like to do whatever they do. Cooking folks, this is my guy here. Disc Dolo, he's a DJ as well. I got to get him on the podcast. We got to figure it out. But this is Rich, King Rich. He's also on Instagram. You can follow King Rich on Instagram. This is actually State of the New York Knicks right here. I hit him up. I told him to change his stuff, man. So hopefully he does that. And this is Apollo. Apollo is I guess you can call him the anchor of Diehard Knicks podcast. So he's here, and this mystery spot. I don't know who's here, man. Let's refresh this page one time, and I don't know if it disappeared, but it's still there. But it's still open. I sent there's 14 teams in this league. I sent like 18, maybe even 19 invites. You know what I'm saying? So I sent it to multiple times to some of these people, and they haven't clicked it yet. So sometime during today, we'll get that together, and guys will be able to click it. So I mean, like if I sent it to your Instagram, you can click it, and if it doesn't work, just copy it and then send it to your browser or something. Do it manually. I can't really do all that stuff for you. Sending it to emails and sending it to like all these special different places not really going to change. It's the same link. So you can actually copy it and send it to yourself if you want to, but anyway, someone's going to figure it out before the end of the day, and then we'll get up in there. So, since we're here, I'll just scroll down. You can see different names and stuff. You can see when they joined the 11th. I started on the 11th, the 12th, everybody came in yesterday, started coming in today. Apollo got up in there, but this is how it goes, man. This is a head-to-head league, right? So, right now you can see buy all there, but as soon as the league fills up, get that last spot, all this will change. So it's going to be like, say, like myself, I'm Eru's Any Stars, right? Obviously that's what I go by, Eru the Any Star. Any Star stands for East New York Star, so that's my name. It'll start to pan off when everybody will be matched up with somebody. So let's say Christian, I could be against Christian for the first week. So first week's matchup, I'll be playing against Christian. So how I have the league, right? You can actually just click my name here. How I have the league is you have one point guard, one shooting guard, one regular guard, which could be point guard or shooting guard. Then you have a small forward, power forward, and then a forward, which can be either small or power. Then I'll have two centers, two utility slots, meaning that it could be any position. So two utility spots that comes in handy if you get more than one, more than three guards, that you really want to play, or more than three small, small forwards, whatever, whatever it is. You can just have any two people that's just miscellaneous position. And then the bench comes in handy too for injuries. So you can actually stash three players, so you might actually have a stacked team and you might actually have a good player in your bench, but as the fantasy goes, right? It depends on what games our guys are playing during the week. So, every day there's a new set of games. So as you set your roster, and also Yahoo does a great job of adding a new feature where you can just click one button, it'll just organize your team for the week anyway. So you hit that organize for the team for the week, and you just set it up like that, so that's like, it doesn't really have like so much thought to put into it, man. So you just click one button, everything sets up, and then you're good. So people that are in the bench, they'll be put into the starting lineup, if they have a game. But the only thing you have to check is to make sure that like one of your best players are not in the bench when they should be starting. That's all. Just do a little quick, run through the week to make sure everybody's doing, everybody's in the spot. Because let's say all your players have a game. So the computer's going to automatically put just people in spots. But let's say if you got like Michael Jordan, and he's on your bench, but you need him to start, you just swap him out one time. That's the only thing you need to pay attention. But Yahoo's been doing that too. Like if you have a player that's ranked higher, they'll put the highest ranked player in the starting lineup, and they'll put the lowest ranked player, lower. So that's cool. Then the injury reserve. So the injury reserve kicks in when somebody gets hurt. So let's say if LeBron James gets hurt, you can take LeBron James and stick him into the injury reserve spot, and then you'll be able to you pick up somebody else from the waiver wire. So I have two spots. So that comes in handy because guys get injured. As soon as guys get injured, all of a sudden guys want to drop out the league, and they start complaining and stuff. But the injuries happen. Injuries going to happen all year long, man. So if you pick a certain player, you can feel good about it because if he does get hurt, you can throw him right into the injury spot and just pick up another player. Pay attention to just the waiver wire. We'll get into that as well. So that's the fun thing about it. It actually makes you feel like you're like an actual GM. So I'll scroll it up. I'm not sure if you can really see that, but this also shows my stats, man. I've been playing fantasy basketball since 2002. That's a long time ago, man. That's like what, 18 years? I've been playing fantasy basketball for 18 years, man. So I know my way around this whole fantasy stuff. But I'm like the Knicks. I think I won maybe like 2 championships in 18 years. You know what I'm saying? I made a couple top 3 spots maybe like a few times, but my winning percentage is 47%. I'm just like the Knicks. I'm not, I play a lot, but I'm not always like in the top or whatever. But I am a platinum level player, only because I have this seniority, man. I've been playing this for so long, it's unbelievable. But yeah, man, let's do the roster. Does it pop up? Let me see. The rosters don't really pop up until the league is like set. But it's basically the same thing. It's just gonna point out like the different positions and stuff. So that's fun. Like, and then you can come up with your own strategy. Like I said, I'll get into the strategy in a second. But yeah, man. The draft, how the draft goes. The draft is gonna be like a scrolling kind of thing. So it's gonna be like this. Like say if here's the first thing. As soon as the draft like say like a few minutes before the draft start, I want to say about 10 minutes, the computer will automatically generate a draft order. So out of 14 people, right, let's say I think it's 30 minutes before, something like that, 15 minutes, it'll generate, its own draft order. So you won't know who picks what until like the draft almost starts. So let's say if you picked number 1, you get the first pick and it'll go all the way down to 14. And then once it gets to 14, it goes backwards. So 14 picks twice back to back. And then you have to wait again until that number comes back. So then it goes down 14, 13, all the way down to 1. Then 1 picks twice. And then it starts back up 1, 2, 3, 4, all like that. So after the number 1 picks their number 1 spot, they literally got to wait like another 14 times 2 what was that 28. They got to wait like 28 more turns until they get their next pick. But they get 2 picks back to back. So that's a way to strategize, you know. So getting the number one pick is cool, but like I said, you got to wait 28 spots to get the next player. So that's drop off from that. So you really don't necessarily want to get the number one pick unless you want to get like Giannis or something like that. You got your eyes on some of those players. It all depends on the strategy that you decide. But as soon as the draft is decided, don't get pissed off if you're like the 13th pick, because like I said, 13 comes down and then 14 picks and then 14 picks again and then 13 picks. So if there's somebody on your board, you might be able to get the two guys that you really wanted, around that thing. So that's something to pay attention to. Also, too, Yahoo has its own ranking system, right? So if you miss the draft, don't drop out. Just stick with it, because Yahoo, for the most part, they do a good job ranking players, but they don't accommodate for a lot of the injuries and stuff. So if there's a top player, that's injured, they don't take him off the list because he's like a top player. So you might end up getting a player that's out for the season, say like a Klay Thompson. So if you're gonna rely on Yahoo, Klay Thompson is going to be still ranked where he's supposed to be ranked if he was healthy. So you would have to remove him from that list and take him out, and just so Yahoo doesn't automatically pick him when it's your turn. Let's say if you missed the draft. So that's something too. So you can just go through that. Just go through the first. Let's say if it was me, I would do like the top 100 players, because I usually try to be at the draft. But if I'm not at the draft, sometimes I might even go down to top 100 players. Or even further than that, I'll just dig through the list and see players that I actually like, and then I'll take out the ones I don't like, and then I'll do it from there. That way, if I miss the draft or if I have problems with my internet, Yahoo would just pick from the list according to how I rank them, and then you'll be good like that. Also, too, like if you're already doing your live draft, if you're watching, the screen will pop up, and then it's gonna be kind of cool, because the way I'm gonna do it, I'm gonna have actual Yahoo's homepage on. So the homepage highlights whoever is next, so it'll say like Diehard Knicks podcast is on the clock, so they'll be ticking down. Everyone will see the clock ticking. So you'll have like I want to say, I think I put 90 seconds. So you'll have 90 seconds to make your decision. 90 seconds is a long time, so guys should be good with that. But I mean, I'm gonna be doing a live, so people are gonna be talking and having their good time and stuff like that. So the time will pass by because everybody will be talking and cracking jokes and stuff like that. So we'll get to see who's paying attention and who isn't, man. And those people that missed the draft, it'll probably be funny to see them pick a Klay Thompson with the number one pick, knowing that guy's not going to play for the year and stuff. So it's interesting, man. Yeah. So I would like to get guys to get in there. Let's refresh this page to see if that 14 spot is open. If it isn't open, then I'm gonna leave it open to anybody that wants to play. So right now, Aiden from the Knicks Community Podcast just took the last spot. So the draft is set. We are drafting December 17th at 7:30 Eastern. So yeah, man, get your draft boards together. As you can see, everybody's set. So I'm actually playing against Christian for that first week. So Maroon Sounds is playing against Guard Up Knicks Apollo. Andre Jalil, he's playing against Slizzy. So that's going to be a fun matchup for game one. We got Rich Stat Stars. He's there against Michael. Whoever Michael is, please fix your team name that we can know who you are. We got my guy Cooking Folks. That's DJ Disdolo. He's a super Knick fan and a good DJ, man. Check him out. He's going up against Hoops is a Religion, which is a dope podcast. Like I said, the guy's kicking ass in school and stuff, so he hasn't really been podcasting as much, but those guys know what they're doing over there whenever they do post something. So that's a good matchup there. Two very bright guys. We got John's official team. Like I said, whoever John and whoever Andrew is, fix up your team, that way everybody knows who you are. And we got Payback Carter, which I said he's one of my biggest supporters of the podcast. And Aiden's also a big supporter of the podcast, man. But he also has his own podcast and he's kicking ass too. And he's also a young shooter. He's the young shooter of the group. My man Aiden is 16. I think he's 17 now. So he's a young guy, but he's probably smarter than everybody on the board, man. But we'll see. We'll see how the draft goes, and we'll see how everybody's strategy goes and stuff like that. So speaking of strategy, right? I wanted to check the the stats, how I have the stats going. Okay. All right, this is just a rough review of the stats, but I have 9 stats in my league, right? So I'm going with just some stuff that you can deal with. As far as like, I don't deal with percentages and stuff like that because that's too much to chance. The only thing that I do is turnovers, because turnovers is a negative. So if a guy gets a lot of turnovers, it's negative. So you want guys that get low turnovers to win that bracket. But usually, top players make a lot of turnovers. So if you get a top player, you're more than likely going to lose that turnover spot every week. But you play that game. But I'm doing made field goals, made free throws, made 3-point field goals, total rebounds, points, of course, assists, blocks, steals, and I believe that's it. I think that's all 9. So I'm just doing stats that you can readily identify with, not something having to do with chance, percentages and stuff like that, because that just makes everything problematic. Because you think you have a good player, but then his percentage is bad, 43%, but he does get 25 points and stuff like that. So you get like penalized for somebody that's a good scorer. So I don't really like that. But if you start your own league, or if you play in other leagues, everybody else have their own little concepts and stuff. But I don't like to play things by chance. I want guys to have a fair strike, and just with, if you look at the box score, whatever ready stats that are there, that's what that makes it good. Because then if you had a player that shoots 30-something%, then but he makes like 6 3-pointers that night, then that's good for you. So like I said, fantasy is fun, man. There's a whole bunch of different ways to play it, and different strategies and whatnot. Also, too, I don't like triple doubles, and I don't like double doubles, because that gives people unfair advantage, especially, and also too, it makes you want to draft big men. There's not really a big man league, so you're gonna end up drafting big men just so you can get that double double. I don't really like that. And then also too, some of these guys that do the triple doubles and stuff like that, that kind of messes it up too, because then people draft accordingly, and then you leave so many great players at the end that don't really do triple doubles. It just adds a different dynamic to the league. I just want to make it straight, nice and clean. So let's get into strategies and stuff, man. So as far as strategy, I like to try to get it really depends. Let's say if you get like a top player, once you get a top player, like I said, you gotta wait like 27 spots, whatever, before you get to pick again. So usually you're gonna get a guy that's gonna clean up the stat sheet. Let's say like a Giannis, he's gonna clean up every stat across the board. So when you pick again, you have to think about positions now, because all the other good players have been picked ahead of you already. So now you got to start thinking about positions, maybe. So like if you go with like you always want to get guys that fill up the stat sheet. So that's really it. Get guys that fill up the stat sheet. But this year's going to be funny because there's a lot of versatility. So I can't tell you to look to draft shooting guards first, or point guards and that type of thing. I can't tell you to draft a guard first. I can't tell you to draft a small forward either, because these small forwards, a lot of them are shooting a lot of threes, a lot of them are passing the ball and things of that nature too. So it's gonna be fun. It's gonna be a fun league. It's very versatile. The scoring is up, so the stats are gonna be kind of inflated. So once we get down into like the freaking 10th round and stuff like that, it's gonna get interesting, because there's gonna be a lot of sleeper guys at the end that you just have to do your research, man. Like try to be there the day of the draft. That way you can see who's coming off the board. You can start scrolling through, see different players that you were looking at, and see if you can grab somebody. Say like an Obi Toppin, right? If you like Obi Toppin, you can keep him on in your queue, and then when the right opportunity comes and to pick him, you can snatch him before everybody else does. But you also got to play into the fact that if a guy has the depth chart and stuff like that, whether guys are healthy. So he has Julius Randle ahead of him. So Obi Toppin probably wouldn't be a good pick to pick unless you like the guy. You just want to pick him on your team, because that's the beauty of it. You could do whatever you want. Some guys get real crazy with it. They're very serious, and they want to show everybody how smart they are or whatever. But some people don't give a damn. They're just having a great time. They just want to have a chance to own their player, to have the player that they love on their team. So I tend to do that with my last pick. Let's say, because the last pick is always wide open. You don't know who to pick up for last. So usually, if my favorite player that I like to look at is on the roster, or say like a Nick player that's not there, like it'd be something stupid like I don't know, like it could be somebody like on a low level, like say like Scotty Brooks. I hate Scotty Brooks, right? But at the time, let's say if I liked Scotty Brooks, I could just pick Scotty Brooks, knowing that he's not going to ever play and he's not going to help my fantasy team. But it's just a simple fact, that I'm a Knicks guy and I like that particular player, so I'll just draft him at the end just for gags. But as soon as the draft finishes for my league, the waiver wire is not going to open up for a few days. So I believe it's like 2 days or until the season starts. No, I believe it's 2 days. I got to double check it. But there'll be like a little period where you can't make any moves at all. So you just got to be ready. And then as soon as that period is over, then you'll be able to switch out your players. So let's say if there's a player on the draft, it's gonna be on the waiver wire. The waiver wire is just every player that wasn't picked. So you might look at the waiver wire and say, "Oh snap, nobody picked this guy. Oh man, I forgot about him." So you just put him in your queue. So when it's time, when the waiver wire opens up, then you'll have an opportunity to snatch that player. So you can take one of your players off your team and just swap them out on the waiver wire. But just keep in mind, there's gonna be 14 other managers too. So that's how that plays into effect. Also, the waiver wire is going to go priority. So it's going to be like in the beginning. It's just going to be from 1 to 14. I guess the way that the draft went. It's going to go like that. Or I forgot how they do it. There's a way that they do it. I guess they rank the teams according to what they think how good they're going to be. So it'll be in order from 1 to 14. But as soon as you make a move, you drop down to the bottom of the waiver wire. So as time goes on, if you like to make a lot of moves, your team is always going to be at the bottom of the waiver wire. So the bottom of the waiver list is going to have to do with priority. So let's say if you want, let's say for shits and giggles, LeBron James got waived, which he can't get waived. He's on a no waive list. But all the top players are on a no waive list. But let's say if you was to waive LeBron James would be there. But if you made a lot of moves and your number like 14. You have no shot at LeBron James. Whoever's at the top of the waiver wire, if they put in a request for him, they'll be able to take LeBron James, and that's fair and square. So it pays to do moves. Sometimes you see guys that you want, or if you're preparing your team for something else, that's your strategy, your personal strategy. Some people like to wait because some guys pop up on the waiver wire, so they want to keep their priority high, so they won't make too many moves, and then when something pops up, they'll be the first one to snatch the player. Let's say anything. Somebody can get hurt, season-ending injury, just like Clay just happened. Just like anybody, just go down the line. Every year something happens. Say like Blake Griffin, he got injured and he never played his rookie year. Same thing with Julius Randle. They didn't play their rookie year. So let's say you drafted him, then you're stuck with the player. So now you have to get the waiver wire to get the next guy or whatever. So it's interesting, man. But I want to get into trades too. You can actually make real-time trades, so it has nothing to do with any stipulations or anything like that. It's just like mano a mano. Okay, I want to trade this guy for this guy. Or you can have elaborate things where they say like, I'm going to trade these 3 players for these 2. Or you can do 3 for 1 or whatever. It all depends on the trade. So, I'm using LeBron James just because name recognition, right? He's a top player. So let's say you got LeBron James and I want to trade let's say, you got to remember, this is fantasy basketball. It has nothing to do with the NBA records. It has to do with whatever stats these players get. So let's say you want to trade LeBron James for Julius Randle and let's say if you got Julius Randle and Paul Pierce, right? Paul Pierce is not playing right now, but I'm just saying for shits and giggles, right? Paul Pierce is Hall of Fame level player, and then Julius Randle, he still does well himself. So that's not really like a fair trade because stat-wise, those 2 players make more stats than LeBron James by himself. So, I would contact those 2 general managers and be like, "Yo, is this what you want to do? Tell me why you want to do this trade." And then if they give me their synopsis or whatever they think that they're going to do, then I'll make a decision as a commissioner whether or not I want to let that trade go through. Me personally, I would let it go through because that's what you think. Sometimes guys want to get rid of one player to get 2. And then sometimes that team that's taking on the 1 player, maybe they have their eyes on somebody on the waiver wire. So whatever. That's how I run my leagues. If I contact guys and they give me information, I don't use that to my benefit. I just want to know where their head is at, and then they'll tell me where their head is at, and then I'll just let them do what they said they want to do. So sometimes things work out that way, but sometimes people are crazy, man. They just want a point guard. So let's say like Magic Johnson in his prime, they want to trade Magic Johnson for like I don't know, Jordan Hill because he wants to have a power forward in his spot. So that's a lopsided trade, man. I can't trade Magic Johnson for Jordan Hill. Doesn't make any sense. And then sometimes guys get mad, and then that's what it is. Because a lot of times guys play for money, but this is for free. Even if you play for free, guys get real bent out of shape with this stuff, man, because guys want to win, and like they have it in their mind what they want to do. So I like to communicate with my league just to make sure guys are familiar and just comfortable, with whatever. And then like they're coming from a basketball thing. I can see what they're trying to do. They're not trying to screw the league, whatever. Here's another thing too. I don't want to put out there for anybody's universe, but sometimes guys get mad. They might miss the draft, or they might make a mistake, or they don't like their team, so they'll abandon their team. So as soon as the waiver wire opens, they'll waive their whole team and like that. Those people are fucking assholes. There's always one in every league. Somebody always gives up, or they just be a dick, or they mad because I didn't accept their trade or whatever, and then they delete their whole team. They'll just send all their players to the waiver wire and empty their whole roster, and all they got is say like whoever, like let's say like the unwaivable players, they only have those players, but all the other players be waived. That messes up the league, because now everyone's like, oh shit, somebody just waived all their players. Let me see who I can grab. Then you got to go through the process of locking the league and then trying to piece the league back to where it was before that happened. So here's another thing too. Like if you're listening, right? If you didn't make the league, right? If in the event that somebody wants to be a dick and do that or abandon their team, there's the option for me to transfer these abandoned teams to you if you still want to get on the league, man. So right now, like I said, I have 14 people in the league. Right now, 14 people is just right. You don't really want to have too many more people than 14. You really don't want to have anybody less than 12 either, because if you have 10 people in the league, it makes the league weak because everybody has a strong team, and then the waiver wire still has like a whole 2 teams left worth of talent. And so it doesn't really make it fun. But if you have 14 people in the league, it really cleans up most of the talent, and then it still leaves some people to pull out of the waiver wire when things come about. So that's my little rundown, man. So I know I'm on Sportscaster right now. I'm hoping I'm not giving you a lot of feedback because I can hear some stuff going on in my headphones. But I'm gonna check out YouTube and I'll see what's going on with YouTube. Can Mitch change a game? Are we talking about the regular game, or are we talking about fantasy here? Yeah, we're just talking about the regular game. This is my man May the 4th. Let me get something here. Yeah, this May the 4th here. May the 4th is always popping up in the chats and stuff. I appreciate you. So May the 4th is the only one really talking on YouTube there. But anyway, this has been my little fantasy primer. I don't want to make this too long, but I just want to give guys a heads up on how to play this thing. And it's fun. Fantasy basketball is fun. Like I said, I've been playing for 18 years, which is bugged out since 2002. 2002, I was a young guy, man, so I had a lot of time on my hands. The way guys be on Twitter talking all that shit, I was on Twitter all day long. I was on the message board. 2002, was Twitter even involved in? Not even sure. That's how far back that goes. But I mean, the message boards, definitely. I was in the Knicks message board, the MSG, Ultimate Knicks, ESPN, all these different leagues, not leagues, message boards and stuff. So it was a different culture back then. Daily news, scrolling message board. I remember those, so those are kind of fun. But guys used to go talk worse than they talk now on Twitter. So anyway, it's all fun, man. So for guys that are in the league, man, prepare for that draft. It's going to be Thursday at 7:30. Those that didn't make it, if you're just a fan of the podcast or if you're just a fan of fantasy basketball, you can tune in on Thursday 7:30 and just watch the live draft. It'll be me. More than likely have some of the other guys in the room with me, and we'll just have fun. I might have a Zoom going with whoever wants to pop in from the league, so they can chime in as well. And we just gotta have some fun, man. Some jokes, whatever. It's a BYOB, bring your own bottle or smoke what you want to smoke, so we can have a good time, man, with this fantasy draft, man. So anyway, this is your boy Eru. Let me get this out of here so you can see my beautiful face. It's your boy Eru, man. This is my fantasy basketball primer. I hope I gave you guys a lesson, a break, little follow through. Hope it was easy to listen to and to get through. And good luck for anybody that's out there doing fantasy, and good luck to everybody that's going to be in my league. And shout out to the MBK fan. We got a league going too, man. But those guys are dragging their feet over there. So hopefully we can get things going, and we can have a great league. So this is Regalio Cooper is here. He says, love the breakdown. Gonna look into it. Hey man, if right now my league is canceled. It's not canceled. Right now my league is full. But if you join your own league and stuff like that, hopefully that you can get something out of what I said here. Bodega Wi-Fi is here. Never smoke a rapper. He don't pass the ball or the blunt. Yeah, man. He's gonna spin it around to it and freaking knock all the knock the fire out. You know, you don't want him dropping it. Who's gonna smoke that? It's COVID season, man. So anyway, I hope people are not smoking and passing blunts, man. I mean that those days are over. Man. You need to get your own to get your own, smoke your own shit, man. You know, it's one thing back in the days, people didn't seem to care about herpes and shit like that. But I mean, COVID and stuff like that is out there, and God knows what else, you know, man. So, anyway, whatever. This your boy Evil the Anti-Star. 4 fingers to the forehead, tucking your thumb, salute. And thank you for watching. And let's have some fun this fantasy season, guys. All right, peace.